Welcome to GRUNG TV, the entertainment hub for news, views, reviews, and gossip. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and turn on your notification bell.
Welcome back to GRUNG TV. The Jamaica Constabulary Force is reporting that a joint effort between the Matilda's Corner Police and the Police Emergency Communications Center resulted in recovery of a motor vehicle on Hollope Road today. Information received by the police is that in mid-January, the owner of a 2015 grey Toyota Noah motor vehicle contracted his vehicle to a man who required it for his company's fleet. Following 6 weeks without any communication from the man, the owner reported the matter at the Spalding Police Station in Manchester earlier today. The matter was reportedly escalated to the PECC about 4:20 p.m. and a description of the vehicle given. Following the utilization of the Jamaica Eye technology, a team of officers assigned to the Matilda's Corner Police Station were alerted to two men traveling along Hollope Road in a vehicle fitted the description. The vehicle was intercepted at 4:30 p.m. with the men aboard. The vehicle was recovered and the men taken into custody. Their identities are being withheld pending further investigations. Two Senton men has been arrested and charged with shooting with intent following an incident in their community of Parrytown on Tuesday, February 23rd. Charged are 22-year-old Maldre Vassell, otherwise called Dre, a carpenter, and 23-year-old Shaquille Boswell, otherwise called Massey, a mason. Reports are that about 1 a.m. the complainant was opening his gate when he saw the accused men, with whom he previously had an altercation, approaching him. One of the men, who was armed with a firearm, opened gunfire at the complainant, who managed to escape and report the incident to the police. Vassell and Boswell were later arrested and charged following an identification parade. Their court dates are being finalized. The police say they have seized a firearm during an operation in High House, Olaba, St. Catherine earlier today. Reports from the Olaba police are that about 6:30 a.m., lawmen conducted an operation in the area where a premises was searched and one Glock pistol was found in a truck tire. No one was arrested in connection with the seizure. Investigations continue. The Court of Appeal has tossed out the corruption-related conviction of former senior cop James Forbes. The appeal court ordered too that the $800,000 fine paid by Forbes, a former senior superintendent, to be returned to him. The ruling was handed down during a virtual sitting of the court this morning. Forbes was found guilty of attempting to pervert the courts of justice by then senior resident magistrate Stephanie Jackson Hales in 2014 after a trial in the then corporate criminal court. The charges stem from a meeting he attempted facilitating between businessmen Bruce Bicknell and two police sergeants at his St. Andrew office. The meeting was held 4 days after the two policemen arrested Bicknell for allegedly offering them a $2,000 bribe during a traffic stop in East Kingston in April 2012. Prosecutors charged that during the meeting, an agreement was reached to have the case against Bicknell, who was on bail, disposed of before it came to the court. But Forbes, who was head of Jamaica Constabulary Force Community Safety and Security Branch at the time, insists through his attorneys that no agreement was reached at the meeting and that he was not aware at the time that Bicknell had been formally charged. The Court of Appeal has affirmed the 40-year parole eligibility period imposed on the St. Catherine man who doused his ex-girlfriend with gasoline, then set her on fire after he found another man at her house. Christopher Locke, 41, was sentenced in 2017 to life imprisonment and ordered to serve 40 years before being eligible for parole for the gruesome killing of Sanchez Clayton, 24, in October 2011. Locke and Clayton were involved in an intimate relationship which started from she was 13 years old, according to evidence presented at his murder trial. She was killed 3 months after he ended the relationship. Attorneys for Locke challenged the 40-year eligibility period, arguing that it was outside the normal range of sentence and was manifestly excessive. He did not challenge the conviction. However, the Office of Director of Public Prosecutions, which defended the appeal, countered that any reduction would be overly lenient. Prosecution Andrea Martin Swaby outlined during Locke's trial that he turned up uninvited and unannounced at Clayton's home on October 30, 2011 and found another man in her room. The other man reportedly ran from the room after they started fighting. Locke told Clayton that he was going to kill her before leaving the house. He returned 15 minutes later with a bottle containing a liquid believed to be gasoline and began chasing her around the house. When he caught up with her, Locke poured the liquid on Clayton and then used a lighter to set her on fire. A St. Thomas man is dead following an altercation that broke out on a bus plying the downtown Kingston to Dallas route. The police are yet to confirm the identity of the deceased. It is reported that sometime after 8 o'clock Thursday evening, an argument developed between the man, who was a passenger, and the driver of the Toyota Coaster bus. On reaching Albion community in St. Thomas, the argument escalated and the male passenger allegedly attacked the bus driver with a knife. The driver, who is said to be a licensed firearm holder, then reportedly pulled his weapon and shot the passenger. The injured man was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Our news source was informed that the bus driver was an off-duty policeman and that he told investigators that he acted in self-defense. The incident is being reported to the Independent Commission of Investigations. The sentencing of the 3 family members who pleaded guilty in relation to the contract killing of Tamara Geddes at her house in Trelawney has been pushed back to next week Tuesday. The hearing was set for today in the Trelawney Circuit Court, but it had to be postponed. The deceased woman's sister, 39-year-old Nadine Geddes, and her daughter, 22-year-old Shanice Ruddock, and her 16-year-old sister pleaded guilty to conspiracy to committing murder on February 8. The police had reported that about 8:30 p.m. on June 19, 2020, Tamara Geddes and her 10-year-old daughter were at home when a masked gunman forced his way into the house and held them up. The gunman demanded money and proceeded to rob Geddes of $16,000 in cash and her 2 cell phones. He then demanded sex, and when his request was denied, he opened fire at Geddes, killing her on the spot, and then fled the scene. Suspicions soon turned on Ruddock and her daughters, who were subsequently arrested. They reportedly confessed to the murder and implicated 2 other men, Brian Shelley and Rexton Knox. Shelley is accused of killing Geddes in the presence of her young daughter. He remained in custody after being remanded by the court when he appeared on February 8. Knox, who was also charged in connection with the killing, was freed by the courts because there was not enough evidence to tie him to the incident. After his release, Knox told our news source that he was wrongfully implicated in the killing. 2 men were yesterday charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition following an incident at their home on Tuesday, February 16. They are 25-year-old deliveryman Shanil Wims and 21-year-old Kiefer Bennett, both of Ambrook Lane, Halfway Kingston 10. The police said that a joint police-military operation was conducted at their home of Wims and Bennett about 7:30 a.m. and a Beretta pistol with a magazine containing 15 rounds of ammunition was seized. Their court dates are being finalized. The Christiana police have arrested and charged 44-year-old Wayne Tomlinson with shop-breaking and larceny following an incident on Main Street in Mandeville, Manchester on Wednesday, November 2, 2016. The police said that the accused broke into the business place and stole several items before escaping. Following investigations, Tomlinson was apprehended and charged after a question and answer interview. His court date is being finalized.